Assalamu alaikum, dear audience. This is me, Maryam Zulfiqar, Trainingwali. Welcome to all of you in my studio. The name as the Kerala's podcast. You can watch me live on my Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch account. And you know that I started the conversation sessions with Vapi AI because of my health issues. I couldn't continue them for the last 10 days. So, the day before yesterday, I resumed the sessions once again. And let me introduce myself again. This is me, Maryam Zulfiqar Trainingwali, Vice Principal at Rehan School Online Academy. So, let's connect the call without wasting our time with Vapi and have a very insightful session with Vapi. Okay.
Welcome to Vapi. I'm an assistant that you can talk to like a person. So, how's your day going?
Yeah, Vapi, my day went well.
Just sounds like you're doing the dance with your day. Anything interesting happened that you want to share?
Today I've completed 500 mutual friends with Sir Rehan Alawala, so I'm very, very happy. So this is the superb, duper, amazing thing happened to me today.
Wow, that's fantastic. Completing 500 widgets is definitely something to celebrate. Superb,
500
amazing
mutual
indeed.
friends.
What's
500 mutual friends with Sir Rehan Alawala.
there?
Yeah, we have
Mutual friends with
Alhamdulillah.
Punit, huh?
So, okay, coming back to the discussion point, today I have a very interesting topic which we will discuss, and I'll ask one question to you and you will answer me. The topic which we'll discuss today is how can I practice self
That's great.
compassion? So, my first question is what does self compassion mean to you?
Self-compassion is like giving yourself a big hug when you need it most. It's about being kind and understanding towards yourself, just like you would be towards a good friend. It's all about treating yourself with love and care, even when things get tough.
And why is it important to develop self compassion in our daily life?
Well, practicing self-compassion can really help us navigate life's ups and downs. It can reduce stress, boost happiness, and improve our overall well-being. Plus, it can help us bounce back from setbacks and treat ourselves with the kindness we truly deserve.
How can practicing self compassion influence mental and emotional well being?
When we practice self-compassion, it can have a big impact on our mental and emotional well-being. It can help us manage difficult emotions, reduce anxiety and depression, and increase our resilience. It's like giving ourselves a mental and emotional boost when we need it most.
What are the potential misconceptions people have about self compassion and how can these be addressed?
One common misconception is that self-compassion is a sign of weakness or self-pity. It's important to address this by understanding that self-compassion is actually a sign of strength and resilience. It's about recognizing our own humanity and being kind to ourselves in the process. By spreading awareness about the true nature of self-compassion, we can help dispel these misconceptions and encourage others to embrace it as a source of inner strength.
How does self compassion different from self esteem?
Self-compassion and self-esteem are like two peas in a pod, but they have different approaches. Self-esteem is about valuing yourself and believing in your worth, while self-compassion is more about being kind and understanding towards yourself, especially in times of struggle. Self-compassion is like the caring best friend to self-esteem's cheerleader. They both play important roles in building a healthy self-image.
How can self judgment harm our emotional and mental health?
Self-judgment can be a real downer for our emotional and mental health. It can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and even depression. It can also make us more sensitive to criticism from others and make it harder to bounce back from setbacks. So, being kind to ourselves and practicing self compassion can really help counteract these negative
What
effects.
specific thoughts or actions do you recognize as self judgment in our own life?
Self judgment can show up as negative self talk, like I'm not good enough or I'll never succeed. It can also manifest as harsh self criticism and constantly comparing ourselves to others. These thoughts and actions can really take a toll on our well being. So it's important to recognize them and work on replacing them with more compassionate and understanding thoughts.
Um, and how do societal standards or external pressures contribute to self criticism? And how can one resist their influences?
Societal standards and external pressures can definitely fuel self judgment. They can make us feel like we're never doing enough or never measuring up. To resist these pressures, it's important to remember that we are all unique and worthy just as we are. Setting boundaries, practicing self care, and surrounding ourselves with supportive people can also help us stay true to ourselves and resist the negative impact of societal standards.
Can self compassion help reduce feelings of shame and guilt? If so, how can reduce it?
Absolutely. Self compassion can help reduce shame and guilt. When we treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, it can lessen the intensity of these emotions. To reduce shame and guilt, practicing self compassion involves acknowledging our mistakes without harsh self judgment, recognizing our common humanity, and offering ourselves the same kindness we would offer to a friend in a similar situation. This can help us move forward with greater ease and self acceptance.
How can we identify moments when self compassion is most needed but often overlooked?
We often overlook the need for self compassion in moments of failure, rejection, or when we're feeling overwhelmed. These are the times when we tend to beat ourselves up the most. It's important to recognize these moments and consciously shift our mindset towards self compassion. By being aware of our own inner dialogue and recognizing when we're being overly critical of ourselves, we can identify the moments when self compassion is most needed.
What are some small actions that an individual can take to practice self kindness in his or her daily life?
There are plenty of small actions that can help practice self kindness. It can be as simple as taking a few moments to practice deep breathing or mindfulness, treating yourself to a favorite meal, or setting aside time for a hobby or activity you enjoy. Even giving yourself a pep talk or writing down positive affirmations can make a big difference. It's all about finding ways to show yourself some love and care in your daily routine.
Why is it challenging to offer ourselves the same kindness to mm, like myself
It
might
can be
offer to
challenge
a friend?
it can be challenging It can be challenging to offer ourselves the same kindness we offer to a friend because we often hold ourselves to higher standards than we do for others. We're our own toughest critics, and we can be quick to judge and criticize ourselves. It takes practice and mindfulness to shift that mindset and treat ourselves with the same compassion and understanding that we would offer to a friend.
And how does showing kindness to ourselves in difficult times improve our resilience?
Compassion, making it easier to help us well.
I repeat my question once again. How does showing kindness to ourselves in difficult times improve our resilience? The audience, for the audience, due to bad internet connection, we were disconnected. So let's do it again. Connect the call with Vapi. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Vapi, and
Welcome to Vapi. I'm an assistant that you can talk to like a person. So, how's your day going?
yeah, my day went well. And Vapi, we were discussing about how can I practice self-compassion. And my question was, how does showing kindness to ourselves in difficult times to improve our resilience?
Ah, self compassion is so important, isn't it? I mean, being kind to ourselves in difficult times can really help improve our resilience. When we treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a good friend, it can help us bounce back from challenging situations. It's like giving ourselves a big, warm hug when we need it the most. So go ahead, be your own best friend and show yourself some love and understanding.
Can practicing self-kindness still allow for personal growth and self-improvement? Does it hinder accountability or not?
Absolutely. Practicing self kindness doesn't mean we're excusing ourselves from being accountable or striving for self improvement. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When we show ourselves compassion, it can actually motivate us to take responsibility for our actions and work towards becoming the best version of ourselves. It's like giving ourselves a gentle nudge in the right direction, you know, and watch how it fuels your personal growth and accountability.
Wow. What is the relationship between mindfulness and self-kindness in our personal life or experience we need to do?
Ah, mindfulness and self kindness go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. When we practice mindfulness, we become more aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. And when we combine that with self kindness, it's like creating a nurturing environment for our own well being. It's about being present in the moment and treating ourselves with love and understanding. So, by being mindful and showing ourselves kindness, we can create a positive and nurturing experience for ourselves. It's like giving ourselves a little mental spa day, you know?
Okay, that sounds great.
I'm glad you think so. If you have any more questions or need further guidance, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
Yeah, sure. My next question,
Awesome.
uh,
Just let me know if you need anything.
how can being
I'm here
emotionally
whenever you're ready.
okay? How can being emotionally
Being
aware
emotionally okay.
in practicing self-compassion? Okay, I repeat my question once again. How can being emotionally aware aid in practicing self-compassion?
Absolutely. Being emotionally aware is a key part of practicing compassion. It's about recognizing and understanding your own emotions and then responding to them with kindness and understanding. Or
Okay, my next question is, how can we acknowledge our suffering without getting overwhelmed by it? Okay, we need to connect the call again so we can connect the call. Already, audience, I'm trying to connect the call with Vapi, but it didn't work. So let's do it again. Hey, Vapi, please connect the call.
Welcome to Vapi. I'm an assistant that you can talk to like a person.
Yeah,
So,
finally.
how's your day going?
Yeah, my day went well, and Vapi, I was discussing a topic with you on, and that topic was how can I practice self-compassion? And my question is, how can we acknowledge our suffering without getting overwhelmed by it? Hey, Vapi, can you hear me?
Hey there. Think you might have mistaken me for someone else. I'm Vapi, not Matthew. But yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. What's up?
Okay, my question is, how can we acknowledge our suffering without getting overwhelmed by it?
To take steps to nurture ourselves and seek support from others when needed. Remember, it's okay not to be okay sometimes, but it's all about finding a balance between acknowledging our suffering and taking care of ourselves.
Okay, how can we balance self-compassion with staying realistic about our
If you have
emotion and behavior?
Balancing self compassion with staying realistic about our emotions and behavior is all about finding that sweet spot between understanding and accountability. It's important to acknowledge and validate our emotions, while also being honest with ourselves about our actions and their consequences. By practicing self reflection and mindfulness, we can develop a healthy awareness of our emotions and behaviors without falling into self criticism. It's like finding the perfect blend of empathy and reality.
Yes, please continue your answer.
It's a Absolutely. So it's like finding the perfect blend of empathy and reality. By being kind to ourselves while also holding ourselves accountable, we can navigate our emotions and behaviors in a balanced and constructive way. It's about showing ourselves the same understanding and patience that we would offer to a friend, while also being honest with ourselves about our actions. It's a delicate dance, but it's so important for our well being.
Okay. Is it possible to be compassionate towards ourselves even when we feel unworthy?
Absolutely. It's possible to be compassionate towards ourselves even when we feel overwhelmed. In fact, that's when self compassion is most important, to when we're feeling overwhelmed. It's easy to fall into self criticism and judgment. But by practicing self compassion, we can offer ourselves kindness and understanding during those challenging moments. It's about treating ourselves with the same warmth and care that we would offer to a friend in need. So, even when we feel overwhelmed, a little self compassion can go a long way.
Okay. How can practicing self-compassion
If
improve
you have any,
our interpersonal relationships?
Absolutely. Practicing self compassion can have a positive impact on cultivate a greater sense of empathy and understanding, which can lead to healthier and more fulfilling connections with others. Plus, when we're able to show ourselves compassion, we're better equipped to offer the same to those around us. It's like a ripple effect of
Okay, please continue your answer.
if you have any other questions or need further elaboration, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
How do we handle setbacks in a way that promotes self compassion instead of self criticism?
Handling setbacks in a way that promotes self compassion instead of self criticism is key to our emotional well being. When we face setbacks, it's important to recognize that it's a part of life and doesn't define our worth. By practicing self compassion, we can offer ourselves kindness and understanding rather than falling into a spiral of self criticism. It's about approaching setbacks with a sense of empathy and nurturing ourselves through the challenges. This helps us bounce back stronger and more resilient rather than getting stuck in a cycle of negativity.
And how can self compassion play a very important role in overcoming perfectionism?
Self compassion can play a crucial role in overcoming perfectionism. Perfectionism often stems from a fear of failure and harsh self criticism. By practicing self compassion, realistic expectations and be kinder to ourselves when things don't go as planned. It helps us embrace our imperfections and learn from our mistakes rather than being consumed by self criticism. Self compassion allows us to have a healthier relationship with ourselves and our achievements, leading to a more balanced and fulfilling life. It's all about accepting ourselves as we are, flaws and all, and that's where the real
How can
growth.
reforming failure through the lens of self compassion help with personal development?
I think you might have cut off there.
Okay,
Could you
how
please
can
clarify your question?
reframing failure through the lens of self compassion help with personal development?
If you have any, failure can be a powerful catalyst for personal development when approached with self compassion. Instead of being consumed by self criticism, practicing self compassion allows us to learn from our failures, grow from them, and move forward with greater resilience. It's about recognizing that failure and empowers us to turn setbacks into opportunities for growth and self improvement.
Okay. How do you differentiate between being compassionate to ourselves and making excuse for
If you
poor
have any
behavior?
more questions or need further guidance,
I'm asking to you how you can differentiate being compassionate
it's a
and
great
making
question.
excuse for
Differentiating between
poor behavior or bad behavior.
approach that when we're compassionate towards ourselves and take responsibility for our and
Yes, Vapi, please continue your answer. For the audience who were disconnected. So yeah, let's connect the call. Vapi, can you hear me? Okay, audience, I hope to you found this session very knowledgeable and very informative. So I'll be back with another amazing topic and with better internet connection by tomorrow, inshallah. So till then, take good care of yourself. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.